AM 560, The Answer.
Friend of mine sent me a text. Says, well, that's Reagan. But it's George Bush. If anybody remembers the debates, Ronald Reagan couldn't stand that smarmy bastard. Nobody could. Head of the CIA under Nixon after Vietnam. Boy, that seems like that would be a good time for the CIA to set all the groundwork up and the railroad system and the delivery system for dope from Vietnam and everywhere else, as they did. Then he goes to brief Carter when he's the president-elect, sits there for 4.5 hours, what was supposed to be a 30-minute meeting, and then becomes his head of the CIA. This is all Bush and the nefarious infrastructure of corrupt Republicans. And by the way, tremendous amount exposed laundering money through NGOs. So that I wanted to play you all that just to play you this cut, because it'll sound a little different now.
Turning to business now, Doge was the pet project of President Trump's second term. That got off to a flashy start with Elon Musk at the helm, but now the administration says it no longer exists. Maribel Aber joining us live from the NASDAQ with our...
Gee, that's funny. Why would it no longer exist?
Our Market Watch report on the end of Doge, Maribel.
Good morning, Eliana. Well, the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, has been officially disbanded. When Reuters recently asked Office of Personnel Management Director Scott Cooper about DOGE's status, he said, quote, that doesn't exist. Well, the department wants...
And neither does the faith in the so-called Republican Party anymore, which is good news for us. It's about time those rat pigs hang out on the vine. I don't give a rip which one of them wins. I only like the good ones that expose the scam. You see, it was because of DOGE that we understood just how much of the money was being laundered around the world in NGOs.
Almost 1,000 NGOs, non-government organizations working out of Afghanistan. I had Marco Rubio in committee, and I asked him, we're giving the Taliban...
Tim Burchett, that's only Afghanistan? So in just Afghanistan, 1,000 NGOs. Wait, that seems like a lot.
This is just an example. $40 million a week. 2 years I've been working on this. I got a freaking
What's the price of hair on, Squirrel?
From the dadgum.
Squirrel, we were in war with Afghanistan for, 20 years? How'd that Heron flow? How'd that work out? Slowed down, huh? Sure it did. Not at all. It's inflation-proof. Gee, I can't figure you scumbags out. Verlon, Michigan.
All right, Sean, I got two quick questions for you. Now, Letitia James.
That's a big song. Go ahead.
And Comey got their cases dismissed. Now, my first question, we used to call those people plug thugs, okay? Now, my first question to you is, were they dismissed with prejudice? Can Trump Pam Bondi re-indict, or do they have to appeal to a higher authority?
First of all, they're going to challenge the ruling. The ruling is another political ruling. But what I love, and I'm dead serious about, I love this. And this is the beauty of the uncomfortableness of Trump, exposing just how many federal crooked-ass judges that would embarrass the Democrat gangsters who pretend to be judges at the Dirksen Federal Building in Chicago. Just how many there are throughout the country. I love it, dude. I absolutely love it. Because, never forget what we really lived through.
Another matter, over the past few days, Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard has unveiled shocking new evidence that former President Barack Obama and top aides in the Obama administration conspired to subvert President Trump's 2016 election victory and undermine the democratic will of the American people. While publicly pretending to engage in a peaceful transfer of power, in private, former President Obama went to great and nefarious lengths to try to sow discord among the public and sabotage his successor, President Trump.
Now, that's undeniable at this point. And the judge throws out the case of the foot soldier in that mafia. These are just two foot soldiers, two big foot soldiers, but these are two foot soldiers. And I love how they stick together to protect that infrastructure of corruption that for the first time, and quite honestly, I didn't believe would ever be challenged. You see, they wanted another Romney. They wanted another McCain. They wanted a Lindsey Graham. They didn't want Trump. So they're going to mount up and do everything they can. Now, the question is Trump capitulating with what you see with Doge? Who knows? I mean, he capitulated with the communists, right? And why? You want to know why I think? Because he owns a tremendous amount of real estate in New York. And if what's going to happen happens, he's going to lose a ton of money and a ton of credibility, right? He sold all that nonsense. The greatest city in the world. Really? You just elected an intifada Marxist. It's not so great. So it's amazing to watch. Everybody can capitulate. The question is this the beginning of it? I don't know. But
okay, here's my second question before we run out of time. They were holding a tax bill burning. I think it was on the west side. Tax bill burning on the west side. One of them. But a few of those people that were there, their tax bill went from $1,700 a year to $10,000. I hope Corey from Woodlawn calls in because I want you to ask him what his tax bill is since he owns all that property because it's maddening.
No, so I have been telling, I had the pleasure of meeting our friend Corey, I don't know, 5 years ago, give or take. He came to the cigar store. First thing I told him is what was going to happen. This is, congratulations, you're mugged by reality. What did you think was going to happen? You know, when you're paying $30,000 per head, what did you think was going to happen? You couldn't see that businesses would shutter and leave and abandon the property. You know, that's the other. They're just walking away. Take it, I dare you. That's commercial real estate. Nobody's touching it. When you want to talk about seeing the exploding rolls of the tax auctions, that used to be a deal. Like nobody wanted to let their property go. Now nobody cares because the taxes are outrageous. They're stealing from businesses. They're stealing. Well, it's about time they steal from the people who've been voting Democrat. They're the only ones that deserve it. Now, all of a sudden, you're mad?
How many years ago was it that I took your advice when you told me sell that two-flat that I had on over by Stony Island?
Listen,
you said take it. You'll never get what is supposed to be worth.
People think I'm joking when they say, "Oh, how long have you been selling real estate in Florida?" I said, 11 years, 12, because I didn't hate anybody enough to sell them Illinois real estate. You have to hate somebody to tell them to put their money here. It's obvious what's happening and what's going to happen. And by the way, what you see now with all these taxes, times it by 2, and that's what it'll look like in 10 years. Don't believe me. I dare you.